Parents let my sister use my apartment while was away. I made sure they regret everything. Well, let's go. My name is Maribel. I'm 29 years old, and I'm a nurse. For the past 2 years, I've been part of a medical volunteer corps, traveling to places where help is needed most. This time I was supposed to be in Sierra Leone for 6 months, but things went wrong. I have parents who live across town. My dad works in commercial roofing, my mom is a middle school counselor. And then there's my younger sister, Tamsin. She's 24, claims to be a lifestyle blogger, though I'm not sure how much money she actually makes from it. We were never that close growing up. She was always the one who got more attention, more forgiveness, more second chances. The unrest in the country where I was stationed started suddenly. Protests turned violent. The organization I was with made the decision to evacuate all volunteers. So 1 month early I was on a plane heading home. I didn't tell anyone I was coming back. I thought about it but decided against it. They just worry, ask a million questions about whether I was safe, whether I was okay. I tell them when I got home. No big deal. I landed on a Tuesday afternoon. Grabbed my bags from baggage claim. Caught a taxi to my apartment building. I live on the 4th floor in a decent building downtown in Briarcliff. Nothing fancy, but it's mine. I bought it 3 years ago with money I'd saved up. Taxi dropped me off. I hauled my suitcase into the elevator, rode up to the 4th floor, walked down the hallway to my door, put my key in the lock, turned it, walked inside and stopped. My apartment was trashed. Clothes everywhere in the living room. Pizza boxes stacked on the coffee table. Empty bottles on the floor. I walked into the kitchen and found a mountain of unwashed dishes in the sink. Cigarette butts overflowing from an ashtray I didn't even own. What the hell? I said out loud. A door opened. My bedroom door. And Tamsin came out wearing one of my shirts, staring at me with wide eyes. Maribel, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Said. This is my apartment. Yeah, but you were supposed to be gone for another month. I got evacuated early. There was unrest in the country. That doesn't explain why you're here, I said, or why my apartment looks like a disaster zone. She crossed her arms. Me and my boyfriend are living here now. I stared at her. Excuse me. Mom and Dad said I could stay here while you were gone. Mom and Dad don't own this apartment, I said. I do. They have no right to let anyone stay here. Well, they gave me the keys. I felt my blood pressure rising. How did they get keys? I didn't leave them any this time. Last time I went on a trip, I'd left my parents with spare keys just in case. But when I came back, I found out Tamsin had used them to bring some random guy to my apartment and spent the night there. Took the keys back. Told her never to do that again. This time, I said, I specifically didn't leave keys with anyone. They made copies, Tamsin said like it was obvious. Before you took the keys back last time. Course they did. You need to leave, I said. No, I'm not leaving. I need this apartment. My boyfriend is coming back in a week. I need to show his family that I have my own place. That I'm self-sufficient. That I'm successful. You're not successful, I said. You're living in my apartment without permission. I'm a blogger. I have followers. That doesn't give you the right to take over my home. I need them to think I'm doing well, she said. His family is wealthy. They expect him to marry someone on their level. Then get your own apartment. I can't afford it right now. Just let me stay for a few more months. Please. No. Pack your stuff and get out. Her face crumpled. She pulled out her phone, dialed, and put it on speaker. Mom. Maribel's here. She's kicking me out. I could hear my mother's voice immediately. What? Put her on. Tamsin held the phone toward me. Maribel, what is going on? Mom demanded. I came home to find Tamsin living in my apartment without my permission. She needs to leave. Don't you dare kick your sister out, my mom said. She needs that apartment. It's my apartment. She's about to get engaged. There's going to be a wedding. You can live in a rented place for a few months. It won't kill you. I'm not leaving my own apartment. Just for 3 or 4 months, she said. That's all we're asking. I'm not asking, I said. I'm telling you. Tamsin leaves today. 30 minutes later, my mother showed up at my door, pushed past me into the apartment without being invited. Maribel, you listen to me, she said. Your sister is about to have her engagement. Her boyfriend's family is coming to meet her. They need to see that she's established, that she has her own place. Then she should get her own place. She will eventually. But right now she needs this one. Mom threw a stack of papers onto my table. Rental listings. Look, she said. There are plenty of places available. You can find something temporary just for a few months. I looked at the papers. Then at my mother. Then at Tamsin, who was standing there with her arms crossed, looking smug. I counted to 10 in my head. Forced myself to stay calm. I'm going to a hotel, I said quietly. This apartment is disgusting. There's trash everywhere. I can't even stand to be here. You have 3 days, I continued. Tamsin cleans this entire apartment. Then she moves out. 3 days. I'm not going anywhere, Tamsin shouted. Then I'll call the police, I said. It's my property. You're trespassing. You wouldn't dare. Picked up my suitcase. Try me. I walked out, went down to the lobby, called a taxi, went to a hotel near the hospital where I used to work, checked in, sat on the bed, and tried to process what had just happened. The next evening, I was lying in my hotel room when my phone buzzed. A notification from Facebook. My cousin Elise had posted new photos. I clicked on it and my blood went cold. Photos from a party in my apartment. Right now. Tamsin was in the pictures, holding a drink, surrounded by people I didn't recognize. Elise was there too. The caption read, "Best party ever. Thanks, Tamsin." I grabbed my keys, caught a taxi back to my building, rode the elevator up and put my key in the lock. Music was blasting inside. Opened the door. There were at least 15 people in my living room. Strangers drinking, dancing, making a mess. I walked through my apartment to the stereo and turned off the music. The sudden silence made everyone turn and stare at me. "Party's over," I said. "Everyone out. Now." "Who are you?" some guy asked. "I'm the person who owns this apartment." "Get out." Tamsin pushed through the crowd. "Maribel, what are you doing here? Kicking these people out of my home. You were supposed to be cleaning, not throwing a party. I needed to celebrate with my friends. I don't care. Everyone leaves. Right now." People started grabbing their coats and bottles. Some were muttering complaints. Elise walked past me without making eye contact. Within 5 minutes, my apartment was empty except for Tamsin and me. "You leave tomorrow morning," I said. "Not in 3 days. Tomorrow." I left and went back to the hotel. The next morning I showed up at my apartment at 8. Put my key in the lock. Tried to turn it. It wouldn't move. The deadbolt was locked from the inside. I knocked. Tamsin opened the door. Nothing. I knocked harder. "Tamsin." Her voice came from inside. "This is my apartment now. Go away. Open this door right now." "No. You can't make me leave. This is my place. It's my property. I have the deed. I don't care. I'm not letting you in." I stood there for a moment. Then I pulled out my phone. "I'm calling the police," I said loudly. Tamsin laughed from behind the door. "No, you're not. You'd never actually do that." I dialed 911. "I need police assistance. My sister has illegally entered my apartment and is refusing to let me in." I gave them the address. 15 minutes later, 2 police officers were standing in the hallway with me. A man and a woman, both calm and professional. "You're the property owner?" the male officer asked. "Yes." I showed them my ID and the property deed I'd brought with me. "And the person inside is your sister?" "Yes. She's been staying here without permission while I was out of the country. I came back early and told her to leave. She's refusing." The female officer knocked on the door. "Police. Open the door, please." Silence. Then I heard movement inside. The deadbolt clicked. The door opened. Tamsin stood there, her face pale. "I understand," she said quietly. "I'll pack my things." "Thank you," the officer said. Tamsin went back into the apartment. I followed her, along with the officers. She went to my bedroom and started throwing her clothes into a bag. "You're such a bastard," she hissed at me. "You're ruining my life. You're destroying my happiness. You did this to yourself." She threw more clothes into the bag, muttering insults under her breath. Then suddenly she turned and threw a punch at me. Her fist came toward my face. The male officer stepped between us and caught her arm. "That's enough," he said. "One more move like that and you're going to the station in handcuffs." Tamsin jerked her arm away, eyes full of hate. It took her another 20 minutes to pack. The whole time she insulted me, called me names, said I was jealous of her, that I was ruining her life. I didn't respond. I just watched her pack. Finally, she dragged her bags to the door. "I hope you're happy," she spat. "I'm relieved," I said. Left. The officers left. I closed the door and looked around. The apartment was even worse than before. The party had made everything 10 times messier. Spilled alcohol on my couch. Food ground into the carpet. Cigarette burns on my coffee table. Felt sick. I pulled out my phone and called a cleaning company. Paid extra for same-day service. While they cleaned, I went to a hardware store and bought a new lock. Installed it myself. By evening, my apartment was clean and secure. New lock. No spare keys. Only me. My phone had been buzzing all day. Calls from Mom. Calls from Dad. I ignored them. Then the text messages started. "Mom, how could you call the police on your own sister? You're destroying Tamsin's happiness. Mom, she has a wealthy fiancé. His family thinks she owns that apartment. She told them she bought it herself. She just needs a little more time to keep up the story." Texted back. "It's all a lie. How are you going to explain when her apartment and job suddenly disappear? Mom, we'll come up with another story later. Right now, he needs to believe she's successful. She has sponsor contracts. She's a big blogger. More lies." I stopped responding. The messages eventually stopped. Silence settled in. 1 week passed. Quiet. Peaceful. I thought maybe they'd finally given up. Then Mom called again. "Maribel, I need to ask you something." "What?" "Tamsin's fiancé's parents are coming to visit. They want to have dinner at her place. We need your apartment for one evening. Just dinner. That's all. I'll think about it. We need an answer soon. They're coming this weekend. I'll let you know tonight." Hung up. 2 hours later, my cousin Elise sent me a video. "Thought you should see this." Click play. It was Tamsin at some party, talking to her friends. Someone was recording. "Maribel's just jealous," Tamsin said. "I have a rich fiancé and she doesn't even have a boyfriend. He's ugly. She'll never get married." Her friends laughed. "She'll be a regular nurse forever," Tamsin continued. "But me. I'm going to be famous. A successful influencer." More laughing. "My parents have always loved me more anyway," she said. "We already have a plan to take that apartment from her permanently. We're starting soon." I watched the video 3 times. Then I called my mother. "The answer is no," I said. "You can't use my apartment for dinner. Maribel, please." Hung up. Blocked her number. Blocked Dad's number. Blocked Tamsin's number. The next day, I woke up to an email notification from my bank. An alert about a large withdrawal from one of my accounts. I opened the email and my heart stopped. $18,750 withdrawn from my trust account. That account existed to help my parents with their mortgage. They were allowed to withdraw small amounts when they needed help making payments. But $18,750 wasn't a mortgage payment. Called them immediately. Mom answered. "Why did you take $18,750 from my account?" I demanded. "We had no choice," she said. "You wouldn't let us use your apartment. We had to do something. So you stole my money." We didn't steal it, she said. We borrowed it. You took nearly $20,000 without asking. That's theft. We needed it for Tamsin. You spent my money on Tamsin. We rented her an upscale apartment for several months, Mom said. She told her fiancé she's buying a place in a more prestigious neighborhood. I couldn't breathe. You used my money to pay rent for her lies. She needs to keep up appearances, Mom said. His family expects certain things. That's my money. You had no right. We're your parents. We needed it. Hung up, grabbed my keys, drove straight to a lawyer's office. The lawyer listened to everything, looked at my bank statements, reviewed the trust account paperwork. This is fraud, he said. Misuse of funds. You can file a police report and press charges if you want. We went to the police station together, filed a report, gave them all the documentation. The officer said they'd contact my parents for questioning. The next day I got a call from the station. My parents were there giving statements. Did I want to come down? I drove over, walked into the station, saw my parents sitting in chairs, looking angry and scared at the same time. When they saw me, Dad jumped up. You're really doing this, he said. You're pressing charges against your own parents. You stole $18,750 from me, I said. You used my money without permission. Mom started crying. How could you do this to us, she said. We're your family. The officer stepped between us. Sir, ma'am, please sit down. I looked at both of them. You have 1 week to return every cent, I said. If you do, I'll drop the charges. If you don't, the case continues. We don't have that money anymore, Mom said. We already paid Tamsin's rent. Then figure it out, I said. Sell something. Get a loan. I don't care. 1 week. And if we do pay you back? Ed asked. Then what? Then I drop the charges, I said. But I have something else to tell you. Pause. I found Tamsin's fiancé's phone number. She left it in my apartment. I also found his parents' address. Mom's face went white. If you don't return my money, I continued, I'll contact them. I'll tell them everything. About the lies. About her not owning any apartment. About her not being a successful influencer. Everything. You wouldn't, Mom whispered. Try me. 1 week. I left the station. The next day I got another notification from my bank. Deposit. $18,750 returned to my account. I went to the police station and withdrew my complaint. 2 months passed. Quiet months. I went back to work at the hospital. Settled back into a routine. Avoided thinking about my family. Then one evening I was scrolling through social media and saw Tamsin's profile. Her relationship status had changed from engaged to single. They broke up. Few days later my doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. A man I didn't recognize. Young. Well-dressed. Nervous-looking. Opened the door. Can I help you? I'm Elliot, he said. I was dating your sister. Can I talk to you for a minute? I let him in. We sat in my living room. I broke up with Tamsin, he said. She told me everything. About lying about the apartment. About pretending to be successful. My parents and I were shocked. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'm the one who should apologize, he said. I lived in your apartment for 4 months. She told me it was hers. I had no idea. It's okay, I said. You didn't know. It's not okay, he said. I want to compensate you for the damage. For the time we stayed here. He pulled out his checkbook and started writing. You don't have to do that. Yes, I do, he said. This is non-negotiable. He handed me the check. $12,500. I can't accept this. You have to, he said. It's the right thing to do. I looked at him. He seemed genuine. Shame. Trying to make things right. Thank you, I said. I'm sorry for everything, he said. He left. I deposited the check the next day. A few days later, Tamsin called. I almost didn't answer. You ruined everything, she screamed. You destroyed my relationship. I didn't do anything, I said. You lied. That's on you. You turned him against me. No, I said. You did that yourself. She hung up. Then Mom called. You're not our daughter anymore, she said. We're done with you. Good, I said. Because I just blocked your access to the trust account. The one you use for mortgage payments. You're on your own now, I added. Ask Tamsin for help. Hung up. Blocked their numbers again. And for the first time in weeks I felt at peace. Several months passed. Quiet months. I worked full-time at the hospital. Decorated my apartment the way I wanted. Bought new furniture. Painted the walls a color I'd dreamed about for years. The silence was wonderful. Then messages started coming in from extended family. Aunts, uncles, cousins. Your parents are struggling. Family sticks together. They need your help. I deleted them all. Months later, my mother showed up at the hospital. We're losing the house, she said. That's not my problem. We can't make the mortgage without you. You should have thought about that before stealing from me. She cried. I didn't. I walked away. They lost the house. It's been over a year now. I still live in my apartment. Still work at the hospital. I've been seeing someone. Doctor I met at work. It's going well. My parents and Tamsin don't contact me anymore. People ask if I feel guilty. I don't. They chose not to respect me. So I chose myself. My life is mine again. My apartment is mine. My money is mine. My choices are mine. And I'm not giving any of it back.